Another week has come and gone, which means another memory verse video. Psalm 73, 10 and 11 says, "Therefore, people turn to them, and abundant waters are drank by them. They say, 'How does God know? And is there knowledge in the Most High?'" So, you see here, Asaph is now talking about, is still, I guess not just now, but he's still talking in verse 11 about these people who caused him to nearly stumble, who caused him to nearly walk away or give up on God, because he knew how good God was, but these people, they've got abundant waters and they mock God. And at some point, you got to start wondering, Asaph, this is verse 11, you started in verse 3, why do you keep talking about these people who nearly caused you to stumble? Can you just talk about God? And I think it's not until verse 17 that he starts talking about how he entered God's throne room, or he entered the presence of God, he entered God's tabernacle. And so the question has to be asked, I've had to do this week. I was going to talk to a friend about the struggle I was having with somebody else, and I was like, that's too close to talking about wrong things. I'm going to glorify God instead. And so I think we got to ask the question, when somebody's talking to us and it's a long conversation, why haven't you talked about Jesus in a while? Like, why am I hearing about all these bad things that happen? It's cool, but like, is it really building you up? And we should ask ourselves that question when we're talking about these things. When I was younger, I was part of a church, and I got so hurt by the leadership of that church that I nearly walked away from the faith. And the thing that made me stay was actually somebody else showing me the love of Christ. And God was the thing that pulled me back. And so I think the answer to a lot of our struggles and a lot of our discontentment needs to be go to God. Stop worrying about the people who harmed you or who are profiting in evil, because God will deal with them. That is the end of this psalm. Spoiler alert. God will deal with them. So deal with your heart and make sure you're seeking God today and focus on him so that you can become more like him, because the things we think about are the things we become. That was probably the most powerful thing I got told when I was dealing with my bitterness was, if you stay bitter, the person you're thinking about, you're actually worshiping, you're going to become like that person you don't want to become like. So think about God, meditate on his word, and become like him. Memorize it. I pray that you become more like Christ this week.